What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker.
Amir Rahimi.
And today on The Great Debaters, we're taking it back, way back. Get ready, y'all. Alright, Amir, so today on The Great Debaters, we're taking it back to two of the songs, and one of them in particular was one of the first songs that really made me fall in love with rap. So what we're doing today is looking at Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew and MC Ricky D's two landmark songs that came out in 1985, The Show and Lottie Dottie. And we're going to discuss and debate those two songs and which one we think is better. So you guys know us here on The Great Debaters. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share because we want to get these debates going and keep bringing them to you guys on a major level. So Amir, for me, The Show is one of the first songs. My boy Tom Early, back in Gambrills, Maryland, where I grew up, he made me this tape. And The Show was one of the songs that was on it. Also, shout out to Dana Dane Nightmares, one of my good friends, Dana Dane, that was on there too. And The Show was one of these songs that was on this tape my friend Tom Early made me fall in love with rap. Mm-hmm. It's not the first song I heard in rap. That would probably be Rapper's Delight, and I would hear other songs here and there. But on this tape that my friend gave me, that really changed my life and made me love rap, and it's been my favorite thing in the world since then. The Show is one of those songs that made that change for me. And I just remember being so blown away when I heard this song. So Amir, for you, when you first heard The Show in particular, what did you think about it?
I really loved the beat, the Inspector Gadget
Incredible
stuff going on. It was just like freaking amazing. You can really tell how fluid they are as a duo. Dougie Fresh and MC Ricky D later, Slick Rick as we all know him by. But just them going back and forth was freaking dope. It was nowhere near like a traditional rap song, or now that we're accustomed to. It's just so kind of all over the place, but it really works. I love the title, The Show, because that's basically what it is. And I also read somewhere, maybe you can touch upon this, that this is one of the, not the first obviously, but one of the earlier songs to go gold and achieve gold status. And I don't know, I kind of want to also ask you, what did you think about his voice when you first heard it? Me talking about MC Ricky D at the time, because obviously he wasn't born in the United States, but he came to New York.
The interesting thing about Slick Rick's voice, or MC Ricky D's voice, was that I thought it was just cool and that's how he talked. As a little kid, I didn't necessarily understand that he wasn't Native American. I just didn't know. And that really, later I appreciated the fact that, hey, this dude came from England, from London, and came over to the United States as a kid, and then became one of the greatest storytellers in rap history and one of the best rappers ever, and that he wasn't even from here. He emigrated and then, helped make the culture great. And I always thought that was pretty remarkable. And, obviously this country in general is a country of immigrants. So, when people come here, they add their own distinct styles of what they do to what's going on here already, just as when we go to other places, same thing happens. So I didn't know that at first, and it probably took me a year or two to really understand, because back then, of course, there's no real internet, there's no real television for rap, there's no real any of this stuff. You would just hear things, and even the source hadn't even come out yet. So it was a couple years, then I was like, oh, this guy's from London, or oh, they're from the Bronx or whatever. If they didn't say this stuff in the songs, there's really no way, unless you were lucky and happened to see a magazine, which at that time didn't cover a lot of rap, you wouldn't know that stuff. You had to literally get all the information from the songs themselves, or if there were some liner notes or comments, if you had the actual original version of the song or the album. So with The Show, I just had it on a cassette, so I didn't know, I knew the artist because my friend helped me with the names and stuff, but I didn't know who produced it, I didn't know what label it was on, I didn't know anything. It was just a song on a cassette. But as I listened to The Show, it just had so many of these elements that helped me love rap. The percussion was very prominent. It was very imaginative, as you had mentioned. Incorporating the Inspector Gadget was something that just threw me off. The beatboxing by Dougie Fresh is phenomenal with the sound effects, the telephone ring, and all these different things. To even as a little kid to understand that they were saying he was making this music with his mouth, which I took them at their word, but just to hear that was just incredible. Even if it was a real phone, the fact that they included that into this song was amazing. And the knocks at the door and all these different things, the different characters that would come in and out, I just was blown away. And then the tag team approach they employed, obviously had been done before in rap and was a prominent thing in this era, but how they did it in such kind of, at this point in rap, now looking back and understanding the music and the evolution of culture more, how they did it and how records were doing it was different than like the tapes you would hear. So it was just kind of cool to hear this like camaraderie, and not in a way of trying to be the best rapper, but just sticking to the concept of the show, the concept of their interaction within the parameters of the song. I thought all those things made it very distinctive and very noteworthy and helped me love it, because this was a song that's very warm and very inviting and very like energetic and all these different things. I just loved it.
Wow, some description there, and I agree with it. And what was it? The B-side to that is one of the most sampled songs ever. Not even in rap. My God, I was reading somewhere that Lottie Dottie was, according to a TED Talk, which I'll definitely have to do some more digging on that, but apparently it's been sampled or referenced 500 times, Lottie Dottie.
I can believe it.
And I've heard quite a bit on my own, and I just wonder across how many genres this song has even been talked about. But we all obviously know the famous Snoop Doggy Dogg cover, which was like incredible.
Which,
Lottie,
to interrupt you, I apologize, but it's so significant to understand when Snoop did that. As you guys, I'm sure, are all aware, it in rap at the time, it was a very big deal to like not be labeled a biter, or to not be like, oh, you're taking someone. And that's why in the intro Snoop says what he says about like loving and respecting Slick Rick, and if you don't like it, you can do what he says. But the point of it is that Snoop took this huge risk artistically and creatively to cover a song, because rappers didn't want to be biters. They didn't want to be, knockoffs or rip-offs and different things. And, with Snoop coming out with that in 93, we had already seen people with, people would say, oh, he's biting this guy, or he sounds like this dude, and that's whack, because don't have your own style, and you're not this, and you're not that. And Snoop was like, I don't care what y'all think, man. I love Lottie Dottie. I love Slick Rick. I love Dougie Fresh. I'm going to do what I want to do. And, obviously Doggy Style is one of the best selling and all these different types of things in rap history. And Lottie Dottie's, on there. So for you, Amir, Lottie Dottie sonically and thematically in every way is very different from the show. So for you to hear a song that's beatbox is the music part of it, like what did you think? Like hearing that, was that something?
It was very interesting, because usually whenever I heard beatboxing and stuff like that, it was just someone in front of me, like just trying to compose a freestyle. So to actually hear it be on record like that, and how good it was and everything, I was like, damn. Dougie Fresh being the entertainer that he is, MC Ricky D being the famed storyteller, and I also love how he's introducing the song in the first 20 seconds or so. I really love the flavor he spins on that, and even when he uses the cuss word in the middle of the song, it really caught me off guard. I was like, what? He said that? But oh my God, the storytelling was amazing, and his voice I think his voice is also so important for this song too. I just love it.
Right.
particularly in the intro. I just think it's just so great. He's wonderful, man. Like Slick Rick and even Snoop. I've seen him even years later. I remember I was watching MTV years later saying that Slick Rick was his favorite rapper, and that was years after Lottie Dottie came out, his version of it. And yeah, man, I need to do some more digging as well to these other people who've sampled it, because 500 times.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Well, I also think, too, that it's interesting because, obviously Hypnotize with the Biggie, but, when we look back at this stuff, we have to remember that in the beginning of recorded rap, which started in 79, you have, this is the evolution of what was going on in the parks and at the concerts and different stuff. And a lot of those artists, even though people don't talk about it or acknowledge it, they sang or they harmonized and they did all this type of stuff. And we see that with the show and with Lottie Dottie, Ricky, can't you see? And, that type of stuff is in there. And I think it just adds so much to it. And that's one of the many things I love about rap, is how it is able to incorporate so many different genres and so many different things into rap, and then it becomes rap, or it's part of rap. And that to me is like so powerful and so amazing. And I think Lottie Dottie, did a great job of that. And then Slick Rick singing, he's obviously, no one's gonna confuse him for like one of the greatest voices of all time or anything, but at the same time, it's compelling and it's good to listen to.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. So we've gone through both tracks now and their differences and what makes them good in their own right. So for you, Amir, which song do you prefer, or which one do you think is better and why?
I'm going Lottie Dottie.
Okay.
For what I think is better and which one I also prefer. I just love how he's just going the entire 5 minutes or so, however long it is. And it's just straight shot, telling the story. I understand it. There's funny aspects to it. His voice, just everything. And then just the influence that it has over generations of artists. And I just think it's just incredible. Obviously, the show influenced a lot too and was sampled a lot too. And even recently on the Eminem Rap God, his big song where he says 6 minutes from Shady Iran,
right,
where he took that from the show. They're both huge landmark songs. And
he said that
one
on
of the
Remember
best.
Me too.
Yes, he did say it on Remember Me, even 10 plus years before. So just a single, a vinyl record to have these two songs on it is just like amazing.
All right, well, I'm going to disagree. I prefer the show. I think it's better, and I think it's the better song of the two, and it's my favorite. And I think it's better in the sense that, to me, it's more musically rich, because obviously we just have the beatbox for Lottie Dottie, but I think the musical element of the show takes it to a whole different level, because we have Dougie Fresh with all the sound effects, we have him beatboxing, and we have the music, and then we have all these different changes and elements, and the sound and the speed of it was all very distinctive. And I just thought it was amazing, and their collaboration, as you had mentioned with Lottie Dottie, it has a lot of the same things. It has some of the humor, it has the unexpected twists, lyrically and sonically, and I just think that, it's flawless. And I also, it's interesting because I love all types of rap, and I don't necessarily care per se what artists say, but I always have a special place for songs that don't have any profanity that are excellent. And the show doesn't have any profanity, and it's phenomenal, whereas of course Lottie Dottie has a little bit of it. Yeah. And a little bit of questionable, unsavory language or what have you. And whenever a song to me doesn't have to use that and is phenomenal as the show is, it just makes it that much better to me, because now when I listen to a song and I realize, wow, they didn't cuss, it just impresses me because I was just listening to it and I liked it. Whereas, you know, when you're bombarded with profanity, you can clearly tell there's a lot of profanity in it.
Yeah.
So anyway, for those reasons, I'm rolling with the show. Amir's got Lottie Dottie. But what about y'all, man? Make sure to hit us up in the comment section. Let us know what you think, which of these two songs is the better one and why. And of course, either Amir, myself, or Unique Access, or Rappin And Snackin will respond and let you know what we think of what you think. And be sure to subscribe and like Rappin And Snackin and Unique Access. We're here on The Great Debaters. I'm Soren Baker.
Amir Rahimi.
Let us know what's up, y'all.
Be sure to check out The History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the DOC, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
It would be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on your TV back with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the street. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.